Hello everyone, welcome to this video where I am going to explore your subconscious mind so that you can discover what it means to dream of being pregnant. That dream where you carry the life of another person inside you and therefore it speaks to you about the fact that you must take care of yourself if you want to be able to protect others. Although it is just that what is causing all your insecurities at this point in your life. But before going into the analysis, in case you don't know me, let me introduce myself. My name is Robert. I am a psychoanalyst with more than 30 years of experience. And in case you want to have a psychoanalysis session with me, or in case you want the psychoanalysis of one of your dreams, you send me an email to the one that I am going to leave you here below in the description of this video, so I can tell you how you can join my consultation. Now, back to what it means to dream of being pregnant. This is a very important dream because from the outset, it is revealing that you are going through a phase of your life where you feel very obliged to protect the future of others. Because if you don't, your own future could be at great risk. In other words, you associate the protection of others with the safeguarding of your own future. And that is very complex because it reveals that you are in the initial stages of a process of paranoia. And that is why all your insecurities and anguish processes will go exactly hand in hand with fearing that your future may be blurred in case the people around you do not have their own future assured. In other words, somehow you have become a surrogate mother for everyone around you. And this you will be able to appreciate in your own life in the moments in which you perceive that your family members, works colleagues, or whoever you are with shows themselves to you as someone who is suffering because of what that could happen to you in the future. Somehow, you are going to be more predisposed to intervene so that that person achieves her or his objectives. But the problem with all this is that in the process of helping others to get everything they want, you yourself are going to become blurred. You are going to lose your own opportunities to secure your life. In all probability, in the immediate days after you had this dream, you faced a situation in which someone made you feel that if you did not help them, you could suffer the consequences of that. If you notice, we are talking about a process that is very close to an emotional blackmail. But the point is that you don't see it that way. You really believe that you should protect others because if you don't, everything that you are and what you have built over the years could be at risk. You will observe this in your work. When one of your colleagues is very given to overloading you with responsibilities on the basis of telling you that if you do not do it, all of them could face serious consequences. And it is in this process where you force yourself to take responsibility for others precisely because you fear that if you don't do, your own life could face serious problems. Although this is not a recent process. Actually, as I always say, it is a mental structure that you have coexisted with all your life. You are the type of person who is always willing to help because deep down you truly believe that doing so is a positive thing. But the process of misalignment occurred precisely when you began to associate your actions with the well-being of others too notoriously. And this is what is causing a conflict in your mind, which is expressed in your dream, because somehow you have reached a point where you want to dissociate from all that. What you really want is to think about your own future without having to make your decisions based on what may or may not happen with other people. And that explains why this dream-like figure appears in your mind. Precisely because when you take care of a baby that is about to be born, You are forced to protect your own life, your own future, but not to take care only of yourself, but because by doing so, you are looking after someone else's future. And that is the reason why many people are surprised to find themselves pregnant when many times there's no possibility of this happening. Precisely because it is a dreamlike mechanism through which your unconscious is expressing a symptom that reveals the frustration you feel for having to worry too much about taking care of the lives of others, when what you really want is only to worry about yourself. Which is very interesting because all this suggests that you are the type of person who has put aside planning for many years of his own future. I don't know. If you have a family, for example, and you want to go on vacation, you are not going to do it unless everyone around you can go on vacation with you, or that decision that is yours, that expresses your own desires, does not affect them. You have reached a point where you repress your own desires to satisfy the comfort of other people. And that's where I see the main problem that this dream reveals to me, because you are living in a conflict. Since it is true, you are going to accept this situation to put aside what you want so that others do not have their future altered, or their plans, or their hopes, but this over the years will generate a process of resentment that will not stop growing. But this over the years will generate a process of resentment that will not stop growing. And that explains precisely why, in case you have this dream, you feel so sad, so anguished, so insecure when someone asks you to do something for him, but it implies that you put aside your personal goals. As I said, you are going to do what they ask you, but you are not going to like it anymore. And that's going to trigger your frustration because in practice, you don't want to do it. You want to think of yourself, but you cannot because doing so is something your conscious self represses. Precisely by making you feel like a bad person, simply by wanting to think about your own future, leaving aside what happens with others. Now, this in all probability started in your childhood. You grew up in an environment in which you experienced life situations which lead you to believe that your decisions affected the future of others too much. You are the girl who postpones her wishes because her parents told her precisely that she should not think of herself, but that she should think much more about the well-being of her siblings or her own parents. There was no decision you made in those stages of your life that did not involve thinking of others first. In fact, I am sure that even your parents or whoever your guardians were at the time reached a point where they made you believe that the future of your friends was more important than your own. And that was precisely what determined that over the years you began to develop this complex, which is expressing itself in the present through your dream, in which you were unable to dissociate the well being of others from your own. And that's why every time you make a decision, you don't do it based on what you want, but fundamentally determined by how your desires are going to affect others. And this is too heavy a burden for you. It is something you have had to deal with for many years, and now it's just falling apart, precisely because your unconscious is generating a process that has led to the emergence of that psychic drive that struggles to come out and take its rightful place in your state of conscious self. And that is the explanation of why your desires collide with what you have learned. What makes you feel that you are a good person, the fact that you always care first for others than for yourself. What at this stage of your life no longer works for you, because you simply want to legitimately decide about your future without caring about others. As you can see, this is a much more complex dream than it might seem. So you have to pay close attention in case you see yourself in a dream being pregnant. For the same reason, you already know that if you want me to psychoanalyze some of your dreams or have therapy sessions with me, just send me an email to the one that I leave you below so that I can tell you the way in which you can integrate into my consultation. And please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video if it helped you in any way, and share it so that others can access to this kind of knowledge. Have a wonderful day, and with it, the most beautiful dreams. Bye!